Hi, welcome back to another in the series where I've been looking at some of the features of my Lurkbook. In the first episode we looked at how we could transfer files in and out of Lurkbook using the computer, which is by far the easiest way of just managing bulk transfers. But sometimes if you just want to add one song, or maybe you don't have access to a computer immediately, we can do most of those things directly on the iPad, assuming we've got a document. So the simplest case we're going to have is we have some app and we want to export. So for example, we've written a document in Pages, or we found something on a website, we want to export it in. So for example, here in Safari I've just found some blank base tab. It's a PDF, but it could be a Pages file, a Word file, an RTF, an image. And so if I want to move it into Lurkbook, all I need to do is hit the little top action menu up in the top right here. And we can see we've got the option now to just open it in Lurkbook. So all I need to do is hit it, and we're taken into Lurkbook. We don't see anything immediately because it doesn't take us out. It doesn't take Lurkbook out of the thing you're currently doing. But in the background, Lurkbook has now imported that. So if I go into here, we'll see I've now got a file called blank base tab paper 1, which is the document that I've just imported. So most apps support that. If it's not on that top line, assuming we can export out here, if it's not on that top line, then sometimes there's an option to export somewhere, or export to, or open in. If you want to dig a little deeper, we probably need to go into Files. So here I've got a file, some PDFs. Again, I'm using PDFs. I like PDFs. If I open up that PDF, and I can do and again, we've got the option to just open it straight, send it straight to my Lurkbook. But in fact, we don't even need to do that, because rather than using this, we can see that up here, Files has noticed that actually the app that I use most to open in PDFs is my Lurkbook. So I can just simply hit that, and we're straight there. And somewhere down here, what's it called? My Immortal Piano. There's my document imported. If we need to go a little bit deeper again, the Files app again can help us out. Because if we go into here, if we go back, so go at the top level, we've got the option to say on my iPad. Select on my iPad, and then select Lurkbook. We can actually see all of the files that Lurkbook has made. These are the same files we would have seen when we connected it up to the computer. And we can see that files are always in pairs. We've always got a document and a dict file. Dict file stores metadata. I'll talk through that in a later lecture. But basically, this dict file holds the information that my Lurkbook wants to store about it. So if you want to delete something, I can just go in here. I'll just press and hold and just hit the delete on the bottom. Similarly, I can get delete. Similarly, if I realize I need to make a quick edit or rename a file, I can do that in here. As you scroll down, we can also see the set lists folder. We can go in here and we can actually look at our set lists, and again we can edit set lists directly in there. So we can go in and mess up. You don't need to worry about breaking anything. The worst thing you're going to do if you start messing around with this is you're going to delete either your metadata or your actual PDF. In which case you put it back no harm done. So those are the main ways to get stuff into my Notebook. You can use OpenIn, or you can use the action up arrow from messages, mail, word processors, whatever you need to use. And of course, we can also go the other way. If I go in here, here's my songs. If I select a song, Dark Chest of Wonders, why not? If I go up here, I can share it. I can airdrop it to another computer. I can share it via mail. I can put it into Notes or any other number of apps that have registered to be able to handle this kind of thing. So if, I haven't got messages set up on this iPad because I don't use it as a regular iPad. It is just for running a Notebook, so I don't want the interruptions. But messages, if you're running on your normal iPad, messages will appear in here as well. If I hit mail, you can see here, it sends it creates a little email message with the attachment, and similarly for other messages. The other thing, which is kind of neat, we can do the same for set lists. So if I take my Nightwish set list, we talked about set lists in the second video, but again over here I can email my set list, and when someone gets this will open in my Notebook. If you are doing this, and this is also going to be more important when we start talking about networking and sort of communication between devices, make sure that everyone in the band is using the same song titles. If I go back to here and look at some of the songs in here, if you want, so if in my set list I have the song "Wish I Had an Angel," and you have the song "I Wish I Had an Angel," it's not going to recognize them as the same song because they're different titles. So just make sure that you've got the same titles on all the iPads. That way when you share set lists and song selections, which we'll talk about in a future video, you'll be fine. Okay, so that's most of the options for moving stuff around. You won't use all of them. Some of them you'll use a lot. It might be that for you, going in and airdropping a set list to a bandmate at the beginning of a gig is perfect. For others, you might never use that feature. Similarly, being able to send a song across to someone else in the band might be something you use all the time, or you might not. But you'll find your own workflows. Basically, there's options here to do most of the things that you're going to need to do, and interact with most of the apps fairly flexibly. Okay, thank you. See you again next time.